By the end of this video, you will be able to add a HDRI to your Blender file. As you can see, I'm going to be using Polyhaven. I'll leave the link in the description to download my HDRI. You can use other websites if you want, but I like polyhaven.com because it has textures up to 4K, 8K, and even 16K. So I'll leave the link in the description so you can go straight over here. So now I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to browse HDRIs. You can choose any HDRI. I think they're all free. I'm going to choose the outdoor one, and maybe I'm going to choose this one, the dry orchid meadow. So now once you have done that, we are now going to downloaded it. I already downloaded it, and now you can also browse it in 3D. That's what I like about Polyhaven. You can browse it in 3D and you can see what it will look like if you are there in your Blender file. Look at that, it looks really cool. Now let's go back to our Blender file. So this is Blender 4.3, the latest version. So now what we're going to do, we're going to go to our shading workspace. Once in the shading workspace, it's probably going to be object for you, but change it to world. Then we're going to add an environment texture node. As you can see, it will turn pink because we haven't loaded our HDRI image. Then we're going to open our HDRI image and select our HDRI image. And as you can see, our HDRI has finally has loaded into your scene. That is literally how easy it is to load in your HDRI image. And anyways, if you're wondering what HDRI stands for high dynamic range images. So then now, if you want to alter your colors, your intensity of your HDRI, what you can do, you can change the intensity. So you can increase the intensity to make it very bright, or decrease that intensity to make it a bit dark. But I'll leave it to the default value of 1. So then if you want to change the color, we can do Shift A and we can add a RGB curve and plug it inside. What we can add some texture, so we can make it bright, dark, something like that. We can create an S shape that I normally like to make it a bit more contrasty, as you can see. But RGB curves are not normally used. The node that I usually use is the hue saturation value node. This is the one that I use to alter the HDRI image because it has lots of cool effects. So if I move over here, you will notice that if I change the hue, it would change the color, and I really like this. For example, if I change this to like here 0.4, you will see that this will turn pink, and I really like this. And because the trees, I think the fruits on the trees will also change the color, and it's really, really cool. And the saturation, you will notice it will change the intensity, make it very dark, or a bit like this. I'll make it a bit dark. I like it like that. And then the value will make it very bright or dark. I'll leave it to a 2. So that is literally the power of your HDRI. Now, if you do not want to render your HDRI, but you want the HDRI to affect your objects for lighting, what you can do, go into layout mode and change to rendered viewport shading mode. As you can see, we have this. What we can do is that you can go into your render properties, and over here in your film, tick the transparent button. As you can see, now you would not render your HDRI image, but then the lighting will still affect your objects. And that is it for today's tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe.